Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
But who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And what he do?
And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hello, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Today we're acting to Taleban Dooda, Trappin' Ain't Dead Yet, featuring 42 Dugg. Now, before we start, I just want to put a shout out to our producer, Michael Rivers, who is just the shit. He's just an awesome guy. He is a second-year law student at Mitchell Hamlin. Also want to shout out to Jaylap and CRAM for doing our intro. They are fire. Follow them wherever they are. And if you're on here and you're a subscriber, pop on over to Instagram and follow us on Instagram. You'll get some forewarning of what we're going to do next. I go live once a week or maybe even more coming up. And we'd like some comments about merch. What are we doing with merch? Tell me what you want. What you really, really want. Anyway, without further ado, here is Taleban Dooda, Trappin' Ain't Dead, featuring 42 Dugg. Okay, do you know what trappin' is? Trappin' is basically selling drugs. A trap house is where you sell drugs in a house. And he's saying trappin' ain't dead yet. I ain't seen a drought bring those grams out. In other words, he's selling drugs. He says, I can't trust a bitch. I can't let my guard down. And basically, when you're in this lifestyle, you can't trust anybody because there's a couple of things that happen. One, you've got the law enforcement aspect of things, so you got to really keep on your game. And number two, it's endemic in this profession to get robbed. People rob you, and a lot of these guys rob other people. So robbing drug dealers, I've had a lot of cases where it's gunfire going bad from a drug deal gone bad. So what he says here is, boy, finally got a stick. I assume that means a gun. He acting hard now. So whenever you got a gun, you're acting hard. And Big Bro watching for the feds, he's selling hard now. And that's what I was talking about earlier. You really have to watch. If you're in the drug profession, one of the things that the feds do is they have a network of snitches. Snitch. It's all it is. It's fucking snitches. And the federal cases almost always start with a snitch. And then they branch out. So you've got one guy, and they almost always say, okay, you want to get off on this case? You give me 3 other guys. And they got to be convictions. So, and then they do that constantly. So they get a web of snitches. And when you get a web of snitches, it's very difficult to either use or deal without getting busted. Proud baby turning into a cash cow. In other words, make your mama proud to be a supporter of hers with money. But here's the thing. You're giving your mom money, and that's making her proud. But if you are doing something like selling drugs, it's short-lived because you have to look over your shoulder for either the feds, the police, or other people who want to rob you or take your territory. And the throwing force to the sky. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it's, gang signs. And when you see them doing this and all that, that is something that they would definitely use if it's posted on social media. And when I say they, I mean the feds, because when they do a crime for the benefit of the gang and you're throwing up gang signs, that's evidence. Ain't none of this shit like real gold diamonds heavy
guard down. Finally got his stick, he acting hard now. Watching for the fence, he selling hard now. I still be fucking with the men broke at the doghouse. If you ain't yelling free tips, we about to fall out, ball out. I'ma hold it down till they all out. Made nigga, I done thumb shit, I done saved niggas, great nigga, probably still lit.
What he's talking about here is his buddies are in jail, and he's going to hold the fort down until they're all out. Now, when you're in jail and your crew is out on the street, that's when you know who's really got your back. And this goes back, not to just these guys, but to the old Italian gangsters, because it used to be that, if you were in jail, you took care of somebody else's family. But that's gone by the wayside. And so what you see nowadays is that everybody in it for themselves. So you have this one pitch of loyalty. In other words, I'll hold the fort down while you guys are there. But what invariably happens is I'm going to get as much as I fucking can for myself. And, I'll deal with you when you get out.
Baby girl said I could throw some babe on her. It ain't only good, I just hate good. That guy made was off a baked drug. Young boy, dick sucker, said he made Dugg. 10 toes, fat balls, I'm in they hood. Bad bitch.
First Hunter got made was off of fake drugs. People don't realize this, but if you sell fake drugs or a simulated controlled substance, that's also a crime. It's a felony. So if I have a bag of white powder that's not a controlled substance, but I try to pass it off as one, it's not as stiff a penalty, but it is still a felony.
Ass on her, but she can't cook. Hey, I don't know so many niggas, all I ain't took. Lamb truck, patty truck, nigga, free reek. Young nigga turn bitch, always 3 deep. I can't remember a time when it was free me. Fuck the feds till I'm dead, nigga, free me.
Now, I would love to play this if I was a prosecutor. Fuck the feds till I'm dead. You cross-examine somebody with those words, and it would really bite you in the ass. And by the way, that isn't meant to be that I'm a fed or anything like that. That's me looking through the lens of a federal prosecutor, because as a defense lawyer, which is what I am, a board-certified criminal defense lawyer, I have to look at things through the lens of a jury and the lens of a federal prosecutor.
Tracking ain't dead, you niggas scammed out. Bitch, I ain't never seen a drop, bring them grams out. My brother had a champ, he had to bring him out. Was kidding in the bitch, but he a felon now. Bitch, you run the city, this is our town. I can't even trust a bitch, can't let my guard down. Finally got his stick, he acting hard now. Watching for the fence, he selling hard now.
One thing I can't get over is how young this guy sounds. So that was Taleban Dooda featuring 42 Dugg, Trappin Ain't Dead Yet. And want to thank all of our subscribers. Shout out to Michael Rivers. If you remember him, make a comment and tell him what you think. And follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you next time.